Hey everyone. I wanted to talk about this. Trump's Commerce Secretary loves tariffs. His former investment bank is taking bets against them. This came out July 21st, 2025, and today's date is February 25th, 2026. So the reason I find this interesting is because this is a picture of Brandon Lutnick, chairman of the business that Howard Lutnick used to be the CEO of, until he become got appointed the Secretary of Commerce. There's a lot of collusion in this, in my opinion. I don't have a problem with a business offering another business to purchase something from them. Um, that's going to be a paperwork kind of headache hassle for them, and then profit off of that. That's essentially what it is. Is like they were going to offer, or they were offering up to 30% to companies that would have been entitled to a tariff refund if the Supreme Court found tariffs implemented by the Trump administration to be illegal. This is back in July of last year, so they were still speculating. We just got news like last week or something that they have found it to be that way. The Supreme Court has found the tariffs to be illegal, and so this is what they were betting on. Is essentially like, hey, we'll buy them out from you. You know, your refunds. For whatever reason, this is really sketchy to me. I would expect to see this now, where companies are like, oh, it's been ruled, or maybe a little bit ahead. I mean, that's a little bit risky to, as a business, like this is where I think it's collusion or whatever. This video's playing 1 second because Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is the Secretary of Commerce, and he's like, hey, I'll have my old business buy up, or a subsidiary thereof, buy up these contracts that would entitle a company to a tariff refund. That would be an extremely risky prospect for a business to take. Like, um, it just would. Like, you don't, to the tune of millions of dollars, you don't like go out and be like, oh, I'm going to buy this thing. And maybe if the highest court in America decides that what's going on is illegal, then I'll profit. That's the riskiest bet you could make. Like one of them. Like no. So the whole process here to get it is a very onerous process here. They say to get your refund, your tariff refund from the U.S. government, and that's even under normal conditions. This is a big headache to do. So I get the service provided. I'm fine with that. But the fact that like they were doing this back in July, when was Liberation Day? January, February. Was Liberation Day like February? Or no, it was April. Yeah. It was like April or something, April 2nd, because Trump didn't want to be spooked about he didn't want any qualms with like April Fool's Day or something like that. Again, this is an extremely risky business move way back when? Way back in July. So, I mean, this is where it seems like collusion to me. One, um, Howard Lutnick is not a good guy. He's not a good dude. He's not trustworthy. He's not ethical. In here, it's cited that they say that he is ethical because he like passed something. I can't remember where it is. All these ads move my stuff around on here, so they say that he's ethical. He's not. I mean, you can decide for yourself. But the guy, my take on it, that he's not ethical, among other things, is more recently the whole Epstein file lists exposure stuff. He's in them. He I believe he testified under oath, or it might have just been, "Hey, I haven't been," but he talked about, "Hey, I haven't talked to Epstein ever. Like, I met him one time, and he creeped me out, and that was back in 2005, and I haven't talked to him since." And then it turns out that like he talked to him all the way up to 2018, so it was like 13 years he just wiped away and lied about. He's been to the island. You don't go to an island of a person that you just don't. Oh, I don't really know him. I guess I'll go to his island. That's just so absurd. Like, I hate that so many Americans are cutting so much slack for all these like terrible people. They're bad people. It's like stop cutting them slack. Like they don't need it. They're at the top. They're deciding like your futures and fates through policy. They don't need your grace. They need your scrutiny. All of them, every one of them. whether they're Republican or Democrat, whether they're the president, a Congress member, like a senator, or like a representative of the House. Like they all need scrutiny. Not and you can give grace because you're a good, you know, understanding person. That's like, hey, I get it. You know, we all mess up, but by and large, they need to be under like a magnifying glass rather than it's hard being president. Yeah, it is hard being president. So don't do it if you're not up for it. Yeah, it is hard being Secretary of Commerce. So don't do it if you're not up to it. Because part of not being up to it is doing stuff like this, where you benefit and profit off of. This is essentially like wealth transfer, is what this is. A lot of Republicans don't like wealth transfer, and a lot of Democrats like it in the sense of we're taking from the rich and giving to the poor. This is just general wealth transfer where a lot of people had to pay a duty, a tax, a fee called tariffs to, to conduct business. And now Howard Lutnick's prior business that he worked for is going to profit off of it. And also his family, because Brandon Lutnick, chairman of the business, Fitzgerald, that Howard Lutnick used to be the CEO on. This should be, if it's not already, this should be illegal. This is the kind of stuff that I think is wrong. Like, what company in their right mind would be like, yeah, you know what? It's July of last year. Let's go ahead and take that huge multi-million dollar risk of buying up these refunds or the rights to a refund because it's only not risky if you know that it's going to get shut down. How would you know that or not? I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not a billionaire. Is because I can't take risks like that. I can't screw over people. I don't know. Maybe that's what it takes is to just screw people over. But anyways, not a fan of Howard Lutnick. He seems like a real dirtbag. He's a liar. He's in a very high position of power. He seems to be using that position of power to increase his personal wealth and the wealth of those close to him, which is an abuse of power as well. And again, I just reiterate, like, we need to be holding our public officials accountable and scrutinizing what they do, not cutting them slack, which is what I see a lot of. Kind of blows me away. I see a lot of MAGA cut slack and excuse and build and make excuses and build excuses for these high office holding officials. You see it with Democrats too. You know, they do it as well. They did it with Biden um, his entire term, and they were like, "Oh, he's sharp as a tack, sharpest one, sharp, so sharp, sharper than I can't even be around him. He's so sharp." And then it's like, then he goes into a debate, and he's just like, I don't know what he said. I don't even know if he knows what he said. It's just like, just the gaslighting. So I bring this up because the Republican Party does it, the Democratic Party does it. They will gaslight you, but they know they've spent decades curating and cultivating your love for them, their hate, and your hate for the other. So when this kind of stuff is brought up, you don't think logically, you think emotionally and tribalistically, and then you shut it down. You're like, no, I'm not going to listen to that. That's a bunch of garbage. True, it's the way it is. It's that's politics, I suppose.